Hello students, today we will study world habitats from Nature Encyclopedia. So let's get started. World habitats. Animals and plants survive in an immense variety of habitats from the frozen Arctic or tropical rainforest near the equator. First, we will study about polar regions. The areas immediately around the north and south poles are frozen deserts, but move a little further out and plenty of animals live with the ice. Then we will study about cool forests. Part of the world have seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. It is an environment in which broad-leaved or deciduous trees flourish. Then comes rainforests. In area of land near the equator, it is hot and humid. This is where you will find the tropical rainforests, full of colorful plants and animals. Then we have grasslands. There are about 10,800 species of grass. Huge areas of grasslands attract grass eating animals, which can attract predators such as lions and cheetahs. Next, we have deserts. One seventh of all land is desert. At first sight, a desert may seem barren, but desert plants and animals have some surprisingly way of surviving. Mountains and caves. Mountains cover 5% of all land. Plants and elements living on a mountain have to cope with less oxygen, severe cold, and strong winds. Golden eagles. Then comes fresh water. It is not seawater, it is sweet water. The world is full of freshwater lakes, rivers, and streams, all fed by rainwater. These habitats attract all sorts of insects, animals, and plants. Sea lily, and then comes oceans. Earth is largely made up of oceans. Animals and some plants flourish in this salty water. Most sea life is found in shallow water and around coral reefs. And now comes towns and cities. From mosses growing in brick walls to rats rooting through our rubbish, many plants and animals have settled in our towns and cities. Let's go in details of all these habitats one by one. Number 1, the poles. Earth's polar regions are harsh habitats. The land animals are here are warm-blooded, which means they keep their body at a constant temperature that is higher than that of their surroundings. Polar bears live in Arctic. They are good swimmers. Cold-blooded animals such as snakes and frogs would not survive at the poles. They did freeze solid. Now, at poles we have Arctic and Antarctic. What is Arctic? The Arctic lies around the North Pole, with most of the region taken up by the Arctic Ocean. Large sheets of ice cover much of the Arctic Ocean. Then Antarctic, this is South Pole. The South Pole is in the middle of continent Antarctica. 98% of the Antarctica is covered by ice. Ice does float. Now the facts. Icebergs are huge pieces of floating ice, but what you see is really just the tip of an iceberg. This makes them very dangerous to ships. Polar ice is formed from fresh water. Sea. Icebergs are unstable as they are constantly melting into the surrounding seawater, so you cannot live or stand on them. Curiosity quiz. Look through the polar region pages and see if you can identify the pictures clues below. There is some sort of quiz, I think. Facts: Antarctica contains 70% of the world's fresh water but is as dry as desert. It has fresh water but in form of ice. So let's move on to the next. Life in the freezer. It is just like living in a freezer. Polar regions are often dark, blasted by freezing winds, and they receive little rain. Only the toughest can survive. Let's stay warm. Penguins huddle together to stay warm. The adults and chicks on the outside of the huddle are not so well protected from the cold, so they take turns standing in the middle. Polar giants, large animals lose heat more slowly than small ones. So many Arctic animals are big. A male polar bear can be 2.5 meter and weigh 800 kilograms. Oh my god. A walking coat. A musk ox looks like a small shaggy haired buffalo. Its coat, said to be 8 times warmer than sheep's, is made of coarse hairs as long as your arm. Wow, beautiful. One big cover up. Many polar animals have thick coats. The snowy owl has feathers on its body that grow long enough to cover its legs and its bill. A fine fur coat. Look at this. The Arctic fox luxurious fur even covers the soles of its feet. The fox is dark in the summer and white in the winter. In the summer, it is very busy collecting and storing food for the winters. Cushion growth. It is not just animals that need to wrap up warm, plants do too. Purple saxifrage has lots of tiny overlapping leaves that completely cover the short stems. Polar regions are dark for half the year, but many animals survive. It's best to stay under. Lemmings cope with the cold by staying in tunnel below the snow, where they hunt for plant roots to nibble. If they emerge, they may be well caught by a passing snowy owl. Now, next is Arctic tundra. Arctic tundra bursts into life in the summer when the surface of the frozen ground melts into patchwork of boggy pools and meadows. The sea eagle. In summer, the tundra poles and rich coasts are a magnet for birds. Stellar sea eagle is one of the top predators. Reindeer. These large deer survive by eating grasses and tree saplings in the summer and scraping back the snow to graze on mosses and lichens in the winter. Reindeer are also known as caribou. Caribou coffee is very famous. It was named after this animal. The subsoil is permanently frozen, so only shallow rooted plants can grow. Around Antarctica. Antarctica is the Earth's coldest and driest continent. There are little plant life, so nearly all the animals depend on the sea for food. Penguins paradise. Only Adelie, Gento, chinstrap, and emperor penguins nest on the Antarctic continent, but many more species nest on nearby islands. Seals of the South. Six types of seals are found on around Antarctica. They have few natural enemies, so the colonies thrive. Just wondering, penguins look ungainly when on land. This is type of emperor penguin. They have this yellow fur coat around their neck. Just wondering, the wandering albatross has the largest wingspan of any bird. Some pairs nest on islands around Antarctica, usually producing a chick every 2 years. Magnified picture of an Antarctic springtail. Southern elephant seal. The world's largest seal is the male southern elephant seal, which grows to 6 meter. Wow, 18 feet long. It can reach the weight of two oversized cars. That's enormous. So that was all about the polar life. In next video we will study forests. Thanks for watching. Bye until then. See you.